Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Fantasy Football, back for week 9, where men dream about other men doing things to other men. Speaking of men, we got our boy, CFO, James. James, how goes it during such wild times?
Back at it again. It's Election Wednesday.
Oh.
If you came here for insightful data and analysis from me, you're not getting it for sure.
Well, last week we had Carlos Hyde for $40, and we know how that worked out. Oof, didn't even get to play. But let's get into this week, James.
Yeah, the biggest load blow was actually from you, Adam. We had a big 45 bomb on 2 players, Jordan Wilkins and Breida Water Filter, Matt Breida, that I missed out on because I'm an idiot and don't pay attention to my fantasy team.
How does that make you feel on the inside?
I want to jump off my building.
That's great. On to the next one.
The best kept secret this week is Jermichael Hasty with the hospital that is the 49ers. This guy is going to probably get the start after being the 6th on the depth chart for running back. So I think this is a nice $2 pickup from Scott here.
Now, if you owned the starting running back for San Francisco, knowing that they have a quarterback injury, they have a bunch of wide receiver injuries, would you actually start them if you were in like a pinch? Would you actually start them?
I mean, if it gets me a guaranteed starting running back, I mean, why not?
How many points would you? How many points you go? Yes. I don't know.
I'd say he's going to get a good 15 carries, probably 54 yards, 3 receptions for 30 yards. Get that in that 8 to 10 point range. I think.
Love that Frank Gore stat line right there.
Yep. And the 0% owned, I mean, this is just everybody on the Cowboys. What is this team doing? I mean, yes, they're plagued by injuries from Dak and then now the beige water pistol, Andy Dalton. But seeing that new quarterback come in, I mean, even Zeke can't even run his way out of this offense right now. Even the defense, I mean, if I'm Adam Lawson, I hate the fucking Cowboys.
Well said. Well said. Well, in honor of Justin and his wonderful team that he had earlier this season and his bench. Justin, at what point, how many tight ends did you own at one point?
I think I had 5 tight ends at least, and I was thinking about picking up a 6th one on that weekend, but I decided against it.
Now, the trade deadline is coming up in week 10. Are you going to try to trade for a tight end?
I am. I have currently been in talks with someone else in the league to try and acquire a tight end.
Okay, you're in talks with Scott for Kelsey. Tell us more.
I am not in talks with Scott for Kelsey. I'm in talks with Scott for Gronkowski because I probably can't afford Kelsey.
Ooh, all righty. Well,
if you were to get Kelsey, you'd probably own the whole Chiefs offense, I think, besides him.
I'm not sure I want to take that gamble. I'd like to have some diversity on my team.
Well, speaking of diversities, we're going to be talking about diversity of booties here, and you guys are going to guess that tight end in honor of Justin's fantasy here. All right, you see that little square on the left? Guess that tight end.
I'm going to go with Mahomes here, Adam.
Ooh.
It's a nice tight little caboose he's got.
I am going to go it's a little more plump. I'm going to go with Tyreek Hill.
Oh, it's actually a tight end. It's Travis Kelce. Wow. Wow.
I thought that was too easy of a guess.
All right. Guess that tight end.
Is that a football player?
Is that 2 different pictures?
It's 2 different pictures. Yes, it's 2 different pictures. Guess that tight end.
Is it you?
It is not me. That's one guess down. Justin?
Is that a baseball glove in the top picture?
I can't tell what I'm looking at.
I can't either. Justin, who is your guess?
I'm going to go with Adam Lawson.
Oh, it's Megan Fox. Lawson has a Megan Fox booty.
You mirrored the butt. I didn't know what I was looking at.
Yeah, I was trying to throw you guys off just to see maybe it's a guy. It's Lawson. We clearly know that now.
That's
all
a
right.
purse, not a
guess
baseball glove.
That booty.
That looks like a cashew.
This is definitely a Sports Illustrated booty. I'm going to go with Julian Edelman.
Ooh. I love how Justin is really...
I'm going to go with Gronkowski, actually.
Hey, that's our first look at
Hey.
James. You know you're drunk
Not
when you
Sports
see it.
Illustrated.
I know my butts. Yep.
Yep, you know your drunk butts. Justin, that's going to potentially be your butt soon.
That's true. Could be my butt.
Wow. Guess that butt.
George Kittle.
Ooh.
I'm gonna go on a limb here, even though I know it's not right. I'm gonna go Colin Fitzpatrick. Colin Fitzpatrick.
Colin Fitzgerald.
Sorry, I'm thinking about Ryan Fitzpatrick's butt. Sorry.
So we're going to go with Ryan Fitzpatrick somehow. Sure, why not? It's actually Jordan Reed coming back. He's going to be playing. Justin had the right idea for the team, but not the right butt. Justin does not know his butts that well. Ooh, now
That's
this
a
one.
that's a Megatron butt right there.
That is a nice butt.
I'm going to go with TJ Hawkinson.
Ooh, TJ Hawkinson.
Are these all like players that are playing now, or could it be future and past?
I don't know. Maybe it's Shannon Sharp for all we know.
Come on, Skip.
Come on,
I think
Skip.
it's Megatron.
Going Megatron. All right. Justin, congratulations.
All right.
Right now,
Justin is the king of tight ends. I'll tell you
Hawkinson,
what.
Hawkinson is a top 7 tight end. I would have never guessed that at the beginning of the year, but would you believe it? Justin knows his butts. James knows his gronks. And Adam Lawson has a nice ass, apparently. Well, enough about booties. Let's get on to some predictions. Dick, hit us with some predictions.
All right. So I would say I'm not entirely sure what my record is when it comes to the predictions. Last week I was 7-6 going into the week, and I think I did okay. I probably won 2 or 3 games, so we're just going to call it an even 500. Still probably better than I would say the pollsters when it comes to the actual election, what that's going on. So I think I'm doing a pretty good job. So for the first one, we have got Jeff Hedges versus Adam Pemberton, Shefty's Milk. For the first time ever, we are actually going to say that Jeff Hedges is going to win this one. And I'm only going with him because I have picked the opposite person from Hedges. I've picked his opponent in every single matchup so far, and Hedges has won every single one of those games. And Hedges did not want me to pick him in this one because he had a pretty good streak going on. But I think that it's going to be Hedges. That's what I'm going with. That's not what I want. And I don't think it's going to happen that way, but that's what I'm going to say is going to happen if you get what I'm saying. 115-107. And ultimately, I think that Ronald Jones maybe has a bounce back game after that fumble, and, getting on the bench with Bruce Arians was not in his good graces. This thing is going to go down to Sunday night, and another tight end, Jared Cook for the Saints, is going to be the difference maker in this one, 115-107. Okay, the next one we've got is Scott versus Carr. That one's going to be 118-102. Jeff Carr, pretty much no chance at making the playoffs, it would seem like at this point. Maybe he can gain a game on Scott. Scott now 4-4. But ultimately, it looks like Christian McCaffrey may be back this weekend. Scott's currently got him in his lineup. He does have Mike Evans. He's going against the Saints Sunday night. That's going to be a shootout. I think it's going to be Scott 118-102. And we've got James versus Jesus. I've had a little bit of a trend here where I keep picking James in all of his matchups, and I do think he's going to get another slight upset here. Big game between these two to decide who is going to establish themselves as the fourth place team and who is going to go into the cellar of the division into last place. I think it's going to be James in this one. Josh Allen, the Bills might get off to a deficit early on against the Seahawks. Hopefully he'll be throwing the ball. Michael Thomas looks like he could be back this week. The Steelers are just killing it, so he's got Claypool. And then David, on the other hand, he's taking a bit of a gamble with Bell right now in his starting lineup, and Chris Carson may not be fully healthy. I think James is going to win this one in a short 6-point game. Then we got BJ versus Lawson. Don't even really know what these two got going on, except for the fact that I think that the big trade with Calvin Ridley, Julio Jones, it's going to come to fruition on this week, and it's going to be Calvin Ridley having a big game unless he's hurt. And if he's hurt, then I'm going to sound like an idiot.
Yeah,
well, he's out.
Definitely sound stupid.
It's gonna be BJ 110 to 98. Just shows you how much research I do. Okay, let's get to the game of the week, folks. What you've been waiting for. You got the two teams right now that are, I believe, scoring the most points in the entire league. Number 1 and number 2. I am number 1. Bailey is number 2 by, guess what? A single point. Over the entire season right now through 8 weeks, I have scored 1 more point than Dave Bailey, and I think I'm going to do the same in this week. 1 more point, 130 to 129. This is going to be a good one. It starts on Thursday night with me and Devontae Adams. I've got the Pats defense Monday night against the Jets. It looks like right now Bailey's a favor. He's favored to win this once he puts his defense into the starting lineup. But I'm on a roll right now. I've kind of been killing it the last 4 weeks, and we're going to keep the trend up. 1 point victory is, to me, Ditka, 130, 129.
All righty. Dicka hedging against hedges. Jesus going to the cellar. Sounds like BJ's going to beat Lawson. Thank you, Dicka. Let's get into our Dicka advice, sponsored by Dick's Sporting Goods.
Dick's Sporting Goods. Jesse, I can I direct your call?
Hi, yeah, my name's Mike, and I was just calling to check and see, do you all sell compression shorts?
We do.
Okay, and do you have like the kind that, you know, makes maybe like your tight end a little more plump?
No.
You don't have those?
No.
Okay, that's not good. That's okay. I might try and check somewhere else, but I do have another important question for you.
Sure.
So it looks like Matthew Stafford is out for the Lions with COVID. I was wondering if I should go with his backup or if I should choose another quarterback in my fantasy football league.
Not sure.
Yeah, you think it was because maybe like when he's hiking the ball from the center, maybe he's a little too close to that center's tight end as well, maybe sniffing the butts?
Yeah.
I don't know, but I'd say if he was, you know, probably should wear a mask in that situation. But either way, he was probably eating good in the neighborhood, wasn't he? Can you say eating good in the neighborhood?
No.
Okay, well, you have yourself a nice day.
You have a nice day too.
All right, bye.
Well, it appears that somebody needs a good Appletini for 50 cents because somebody is not eating good in the neighborhood tonight. But if you ever need a call, need a friend, we're all here for you. That's what we do. We're eating them good in the neighborhood all year round. Thank you, Dicka. Power rankings. Let's see what we got. But to start, Daily Double. Adam Lawson. Last week. Son of a bitch! I did it again! Either way, we're going to roll with it. We're going to let it ride. I'll do it live! Lawson keeps claiming that he's scoring a lot, or at least a lot of people are scoring on him. He's on the average for people scoring on him this year, and the amount of times that he's scored in the bottom 3 of our league each week, he's scored 5 out of the 8 times in the bottom 3. Anybody that's doing that, you're bound to lose. It's not good. So I just found that to be interesting, and that's why we have Lawson at number 10. Obviously, this goes with the calculations as well. The amount of wins he has is not helping. And last week was brutal.
Those trades,
9,
though.
Carr. Carr just kind of staying steady. Last week was atrocious for him. Did not have any points. Let's see if he can bring it back up. You three have been changing on through this all year. It's pretty much your guys' tier at this point. James at number 8. But big game versus David this week. David P, number 7. Team is there, but the wins and he's getting just scored on like crazy. Also, big week for David. Number 6. It's staying the same so far. BJ number 6. Kind of holding that ground as the... What is the team from Mighty Ducks?
Iceland.
Not Iceland.
The Hawks.
No, the other team. That
The
I was
varsity
playing,
team.
The team that he was last week. Whatever that team is.
Oh, yeah. Trinidad and Tobago.
Trinidad Tobago, the coolest jerseys of all time. Me, number 5. Jonathan Taylor isn't playing well and injured. On top of that, Zeke's injured. Struggling in the running back department, and I'm only putting up average performances each week, so I stay at number 5. Number 4. We got Scott. Actually, was previously at number 4, so this should stay the same. But we're getting a little bit different. Number 3, we got Hedges. Hedges was moving back a little bit with Miles Sanders being out and his team just kind of struggling. Yes, he did have, like, I think the number 2 score last week. Fun facts, last week, the second best scorer, I think, was Jeff Hedges with 111 points, which is under our league average. The only person to outdo that was Justin, which, speaking of which, we got Bailey up top at number 2. Uh-oh, that means an upset. Finally, Bailey is off of his throne.
Yes.
And that reason is because, what's this whole thing about our league struggling to score points? How many times, Justin, have you scored within the top 3 points for this season each week? How many times out of the 8 weeks have you scored in the top 3?
I'm going to go with 4 times.
Yeah. James, how many times do you think?
I'm going to say 5 times.
5 times. Well, look at this. What is the number 6? Justin, that's insane. You are putting up numbers right now that are very, like, the past 3 weeks, you've been in the top, 2, I think. And you've been playing out of your mind. You got Metcalf, you have Henry, you have Mahomes. Is there anyone else there I'm missing that's putting up big points for you?
And Adams, Devontae Adams, the last
That's
2
true.
weeks.
Like, all of those guys, pretty much, as long as you don't have an injury, it's looking good for you, bud.
My buys are pretty much done as well. So.
Yep. And this is what the ultimate standings look like by the end of it. Justin up there by a pretty significant amount. And then basically the bottom 3 together, BJ, me, and David together. So it's a pretty interesting battle there. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for the sponsors once again. James, thank you for your time as well. Best of luck and enjoy your insanity while we have it, folks.